First thing you need to know is that there are two versions of the Q7F. This one known as Q7FA and another one known as Q7F5, which comes with central pedestal and has almost twice the brightness and is marketed in a few countries. This Q7FA version is marketed in the vast majority of countries. I'm doing this comparison because here in my country and probably in many other countries, both sizes of both models are available at the same or very similar prices. So many people wonder if it's really worth paying the same for the 55-inch Samsung or paying the same or maybe a little more and going for the 65-inch TCL. Well, the first thing you should know is that the brightness levels in both models vary according to each picture mode. And the brightness levels I indicate on the screen are based on the cinema or movie picture mode. But as I said, these levels in both models vary according to each picture mode. You should also keep in mind, in case you didn't know, that both TVs have an LCD screen, that is a liquid crystal display with a vertical alignment pixel configuration or known as VA panel, although TCL prefers to call the P7K's panel HVA because it has better viewing angles. And you should know that both TVs feature quantum dot color technology within this LCD screen. As for high dynamic range technologies, the main difference is that the TCL supports Dolby Vision, while the Samsung does not. In this case, the technology activated on the Samsung will be HDR10. And where they differed most is in performance in dark scenes, with the Samsung performing better because it shows less intensity of the clouding effect due to its lower amount of brightness, but at the same time it's inferior in terms of detail. The TCL's results are, let's say, better in terms of display and better detail, but at the same time you can perceive a little more of the clouding effect, but this is because it has a higher amount of brightness. And the results in this area also vary according to every picture mode in both models. Speaking of viewing angles, the Samsung's results aren't as good because it has a VA panel, while the P7K's results are slightly better, although the difference isn't that great. And the results are not as surprising as promised on the TCL's website. Image upscaling is good on both TVs. For this I use the cinema or movie picture mode on both models with the standard dynamic range content. And just remember what I always say, don't be fooled when sellers or websites promise you that any type of content will be displayed in 4K. This will never happen. That is, if the content has a very low resolution, it will never be displayed in 4K. The dirty screen effect in both models is more than decent, and although some dirty screen effect isn't noticeable in these conditions, the good thing is that when you watch content with higher color volume, the dirty screen effect is not annoying. Regarding motion handling, I must say that the TCL is slightly better. Additionally, on the P7K, you have the option to manually reduce not only jitter but also blur, while in the Samsung you only can reduce jitter. So on both models the result is, let's say, good, but as I said, it's better on the TCL because you can perceive a greater smoothness and fewer artifacts when you apply the digital improvement. For the gaming area, you should obviously activate game mode to get the best results. And the main difference is that the TCL supports 120Hz up to 1440p, although in 4K only up to 60Hz, like the Samsung. And the TCL is compatible with variable refresh rate technologies, while the Samsung is not. And in both you have the option of making these game bars appear on the screen with different features, the most relevant being the picture modes. And although the TCL game bar only has 3 picture modes, perhaps for some people it will be enough. But in this case, I obviously want to highlight the Samsung's game bar because it has more picture modes and therefore greater variety. As for the input lag times, both TVs, both in theory and in practice, perform very well from my point of view. And of course, I must say that the overall performance in this gaming area on both TVs was very good and pretty similar, so anyone could be satisfied in this area with either of these two models. Speaking of screen heating, after using them for more than 2 hours without stopping, I feel that the result is slightly higher on the Samsung, although nothing alarming, and there is no overheating and focus part of the screen because it has direct LED backlighting technology like the TCL has, which seems fine to me, although the result on the TCL is slightly lower. Talking now about the smart area, which is something very important, although many people leave it aside, this will be the remote controls. The Samsungs can be charged via a solar panel or via USB Type-C port. In addition, it is smaller and more ergonomic to the grip, although I personally do not dislike the TCL's remote. The Samsung's operating system is Tizen with the One UI customization layer, while the TCL's will be Android TV with Android 12 with the Google TV customization layer. The fluency or smoothness of the operating system in both models is good, being slightly faster in some occasions in the TCL, although with the YouTube application the Samsung responds better. Both models have this shortcut menu where you can change the location of these icons, which I find it very useful. The apps store is specific to each operating system. The most important thing to know is that the apps and features on the Samsung TV will vary according to every country, while the Google Play Store is more extensive and you can install APK files externally on the TCL if necessary. The Samsung has the advantage of not only supporting a screencast but also multi-view, while the TCL doesn't, although it does of course support the screencast function. Both models have voice assistants, and you can access them by pressing the microphone button on the remote controls, but the TCL has the advantage of also having a hands-free mic feature, while the Samsung does not. And both models also have ambient mode, although the Samsung calls it art. As for the inputs, both models offer the same features except the Samsung does not have a USB 3.0 port, while the TCL does have a USB 3.0 port. Finally, let me first talk about the speaker system's performance, and I want to tell you that both in theory and in practice it's the same in both TVs, whether it's the 55-inch or 65-inch sizes. Overall, I can tell you that the Samsung offers good sharpness and clarity but very poor power. The TCL offers both good clarity and sharpness and better power, although nothing incredibly surprising. At the end, I will leave you with a small test to give you a rough idea of how they might perform in real life. Finally, if you guys ask me which one of these TVs will I choose, assuming there were no other TVs in the world, I personally, although I have criticized the Samsung a lot, will go for the Q7F because I prefer its operating system, because I like the remote control is smaller and more ergonomic to me, and although I don't use frequently the multi-view function, it might be useful in some cases. But in general, I think that for the vast majority of users, the TCL is the best value for money option to get. But guys, please let me know in the comment section down below which one of these TVs will you buy and why. I remind you guys you can support my channel by making some purchases through the referral links I put in the description and also in the first comment. Also click the like button if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thanks for watching and until next time.
The swarm brought ruin into our world. The swarm brought ruin into our world. Our proud people, the found people became refugees. And yet, they could not shatter our unity.